It was at the time when I was writing my poetry book, which is called Methods of Perfection, and my stage name for the solo act was Bad Replica of Jesus, and that didn't sound much like a name.
Yeah.
And I wanted to have more of a pen name, and well, I'm originally Luke, so.
You want to sound more.
And I had that kind of like epiphany moment while channeling a poem and looking through a window and just feeling all autumn-like, poetic. And I just looked at the cigarette and I was like, well, I'll be fine as long as it burns right. I mean, I was raised in a family of a music teacher and a painter, artist, architect. So it's a perfect combination of visual arts and geometry and the teaching of sound, you know. So, like, because I'm originally from Lithuania, so that's where I started the whole musical path.
We've always kind of played together and, you know, watched cartoons all the time, developed secret code languages, you know, where our parents would understand us anymore. And we have very different journeys, but at the same time they're very connected, so there's lots of sharing points. And we have these, you know, this family that we really appreciate. Our family has been very supportive in arts, and we've just all been friends.
We first met when we were both applying for a conservatory back in Lithuania. I was around 16 years old, I think he was like 15. That was like 11 years ago. And yeah, ever since then we've been just playing together mostly. It was different projects, you know, I was always the drummer. And he was playing bass, he was playing guitar, singing in different projects, different stuff. So that's how we, you know, built our relationship.
That was like the Hogwarts of my music studying, because it was amazing. Like, no one cared about the normal class things. As long as you played music and you gigged and you toured around, you know, with a class or other musicians, you know, you were considered the good student. So that was like one of the most beautiful memories, because there was a lot of mind-altering substances and a lot of amazing influences. That's where I started playing a lot of jazz bass for bebop and swing bands, and then at the same time always had my singing solo stuff, and then started open mics there, and then got into TV in Lithuania, done a lot of tours there, made, you know, fair amount of money for a 18-year-old at that point. And then me and my drummer just decided to drop everything and walk the earth, or at least start that. So we basically just sold all of our gear and just took first bus to Spain after, I don't know, a couple of days on the bus, rotting in your own juices on the bus. We got out of the bus with all of our gear, you know, acoustic guitar, djembe, computer, a few pairs of shoes and some food, and then just started walking around, living under bridges, playing in the streets.
His plan was to go, you know, hiking through Portugal and stuff. But once we got to Spain, we realized that we have too much stuff and we just have to, you know, go back to civilization somewhere.
Then we missed electricity again. Like it's you know, it's a couple of weeks passed. We're like, yeah, that's it. Yeah, we wanna produce. We wanna get, you know, develop, expand.
We threw away lots of stuff in Spain. Then eventually we went to Amsterdam. There's this thing called Workaway. It's like couch surfing, but then you work for people. He was painting walls. And yeah, after that we realized that we need, you know, a place that has English language, because in Amsterdam it's nice to be there and you can get a job just with English language. It's not going to be something serious. It's going to be, you know, work in a coffee shop or something.
So we done our fair share of lingering around there for a while, and then came to London, because that was, I mean, I always had the West calling, you know.
We met in the toilet. He was washing his dishes in the toilet. Not in the actual toilet, in the sink, in the toilet room. And I arrived in the toilet also, because we used to share a toilet. And I think, you know, we had a moment, you see. We both had the side of our head shaved, and we both had these tattoos. And I think we just, you know, started talking and realized, something is going to happen here, something interesting. We have many things in common, you know. And then we spend the rest of our relationship fighting each other for dominance.
He's been the first neighbour that I've just casually bumped into in London. Like, who has neighbours in London, you know? So it's, he's affected my life for creating a homely feel in an otherwise metropolitic city of pretty vast proportions. I think he brings to music a far broader selection of inspirational genres and styles, making his music more diverse, an open-minded approach to things.
Sometimes I seem to need the silence remind me I'm around very those memories we collected as our tools.
What sets him apart is his ability to write music that you have not heard before. You try and say, what type of music is this? And you start, but then suddenly you realize that you don't have a pre-manufactured category in which to put him. And I think that's what sets him apart, because if he were like other artists, there would be a category to put him in, but there's not.
I love his music. I imagine I can be naturally biased, you would think, and I suppose I am in the sense that I see the process of it and how he transforms the influences in terms of all of his environment, whether it be, you know, life experiences or relationships or other, you know, musicians that inspire him greatly. I personally, you know, get a journey each time I truly listen to their music.
Because, you know, any chord usually has a reference to a person you ever met or a person that taught you the chord, or if it's not a chord, if it's electronic sound, there's like these like little invisible strings between everything you use to create. It comes from somewhere or someone, you know. Well, here's some surface evidence in my arm. It happened this summer. I came to a local pub here in Leytonstone with my friends, and we were about to salute with some beer, and we're like, you know, just having a chill summer evening, and electrical substation exploded exactly where I was sitting, like next to my leg. Just filled the whole room with fire, and that, you know, the split second I just jumped off the couch and just ran to the corner, and then I realized that, okay, so, you know, I'm fucked. I've burned. You know, this has happened. Well, in general, it made me value life way more. I don't know if there is a measurement how much you value life, but it actually seen the value of it, the moment in time. You know, I stopped being in some sort of anxiety of wanting more. I can still want more, but I don't feel it pushing me. You know, I feel way more solid on the ground, I suppose.
It brought closer the idea of death, you know, and of, you know, made us appreciate life, and everybody just got to think a little bit about where they stand and to have this ability, you know. It served everyone as well to let go of their own pettier worries. So actually, the bright side of it was, you know, it burned bright. So actually, it's quite amazing. You know, now he's even more passionate about life, so, and we'll see it in his work.
That's the thing, again, it's just the classical. If you know, something doesn't kill you, makes you stronger. So that's definitely what happens, you know. So it's nice to be living that sentence rather than just reading it in books.
Where do you see Luke in his career 5 years from now?
I can't remember how old he is, but if he's pre-27, dead at 27.
Lots of visual arts as well connected with the music is what I see. And lots of more amazing stuff for us, the listeners, to experience.
In 5 years, I hope he will be standing on a large box, which is on top of a large stage, and there will be all these strobe lights, like ba 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 ba, and he'll be like, yeah, and everybody will be like, woo, like Vader is right now. Their enthusiasm will match that of my dog. That is what I hope.
If he's not pre-27, then rich and famous.
Burnsright, pun intended.